Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Looking Local. Erin Ennis, the owner of Energy Exteriors Northwest, is unique, just individual in general, but as the owner of a contracting business, she's unique in that sense as well. We brought her into the studio, sat with her for a little while, give her an opportunity to tell her story and the challenges, but also some of the rewards that come from a woman excelling in a traditionally men's industry. So we really hope you enjoy our time with Erin Ennis. Well, thanks again for coming in, Erin. It's always good to see you, and I appreciate you taking some time. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. I'm Erin Ennis. I own Energy Exteriors Northwest. We are an exterior remodeling company. We started with windows, moved into doors, then siding, and recently this last year we've added decks, Trex fencing, and gutters and painting.
Gutters and painting.
Mhm.
Great. We're going to have to pull on that thread a little bit because I want to know a little more
Sure.
about how you guys are doing that.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
hmm
So I sent you some questions, and I kind of want to go back, if you don't
Sure.
mind, because again, we want to know a little bit about Erin Ennis. And so let's go back to the genesis. Where did you start out? Where
Sure.
did you grow up?
I
All
am
that
a
stuff.
Snohomish County girl, born and raised in Linwood.
Linwood, yeah.
Went to Linwood High School, had the big hair and everything. Um, spent a lot of time at Linwood High School so I could work across the street at the mall. So
Sure.
always been a worker. Did a number of years at Nordstrom, learned customer service there,
Oh, that's fabulous.
movie theaters, different things like that. And then in college, spent some time at Edmonds Community College in their student leadership program.
Great.
Leadership has always been sort of a niche for me,
Mm-hmm.
and also has helped me to discover that that's kind of more of the goal that I like to do.
You bet.
I'm a leader. And so we, from there, then got into the corporate world and found out very quickly that I thought I should go into accounting. And no, I like to talk too much. So, especially during tax season. So I took a little break, took some time off, and coincidentally didn't really want to have to look for a job.
Sure.
So used back we had they would refer to them as headhunters now, but they used to have employment agencies back in the day.
Sure.
And so I applied for this position with a supplier to corrections industry
Okay.
and corrections construction.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was a very fun job for me. I got to travel the country and see different aspects, different ways of life. And in being in my early 20s, it really helped to kind of resonate for me that here is where I wanted to be. I wanted to stay here.
You bet.
And so, because I'd always thought my whole life, like, I'm going to take off and I'm out of here, that kind of thing. So
you mentioned leadership.
yeah,
Talk a little bit about that. What is it
sure.
about that was a draw? Because some people are not drawn to that.
hmm
Right? What is it about leadership?
I think for me, it's I can organize really quickly and put people in the places that they need to be, or where maybe I see that they can excel. And so that has helped me to kind of pull together and organize whether it be different major events like auctions and
Sure.
or it be just a wedding reception for a friend or something like that. Those are the kinds of things that I can lead and that I can handle. But I also realized that managing was probably along something that was going to make a lot of sense for me.
Sure.
I've said before, I've been self-employed most of my adult life, and it's probably because I'm not a good employee. But I work really, really hard. Like now with Energy Exteriors Northwest, it's literally, my heart is on my sleeve, and I'm trying. I worry about my employees
Sure.
and make sure that they receive a paycheck when they expect it, and all of those things. So there's being an entrepreneur, and then there's being an employer, and so
You bet.
being and staying positive and leading, and even if I might have a grumpy face or a bad day or I'm feeling very overwhelmed, it's stay positive and stay engaged, as
Yeah.
best as possible to lead people to be able to finish things off.
Yeah.
And then now it's kind of changed a little bit for me too, because my children are raised, and I have a lot of younger friends in some women networking groups that I belong to that, are like, oh, how did you do it when your son was this age? Or how did you do it when this was happening? Or whatever. So, because I did become a PTA mom, executive director of PTA boards and presidents and all of
Leadership
this and
again, right
leadership
there.
again. And
Yeah.
then that led into one of my self-employment careers. I was a fundraising consultant for 10 years. So
Wow.
not only did I have my kids' schools, but I had like 30 other in the area. So it's kind of funny because I always ask people, where do you go to, where are you from? What school?
And you
Because I
know
can
right where
remember.
it's
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I've never been intimidated by public speaking. So
Yeah.
I think that there's those elements as well. So
That's
it's just
fantastic.
kind of,
So you've got some gifting that lends itself to it, but also you found an affinity
hmm
towards it as well,
hmm
right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fantastic. So, early career working, nothing wrong with applying yourself whatsoever. No inhibitions that way.
hmm
Um, you now work in the trades,
I do.
right? That's, traditionally been heavily dominated by men,
Hmm
right? And entering that field couldn't have been easy.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
For many years, I was asked, was this my father's company? Did I start it with my
Husband,
husband? Did
sure.
I, was brother involved or whatever? And I'm like, no, yes, there were a couple of men involved in the beginning, with me, but yeah, I've solely ran it on my own the last almost 10 years.
How do
So,
vendors treat you today
mhm.
as compared to maybe in the early days?
I I mean, I prove it with my numbers,
Sure.
and we do, and what we do is very strong on the 5-star review on Google,
Yeah.
but also what we do for our homeowners. We when we are tearing, they're paying us to tear their house apart.
Oh yeah.
I want to make sure that we're putting their house back together
Amen.
so that the weather stays out,
Amen.
and that's really, really important to me.
Yeah.
And I got into this through trying to discover my own home
Sure.
improvements
Sure.
and realizing there's got to be a better way. You can't be scaring people into getting new windows. You
Right.
need to educate them as to why they need new windows.
You
How's it
bet.
going to improve the health of their home? How's it going to improve,
Yeah.
their utility bills, all the other savings that
You bet.
comes with it.
Yeah.
So,
So really a respect for the homeowner,
mhm,
right?
very
As
much so.
compared to scaring them into something.
Very
You're
much so.
educating them because you respect
Right.
them. And then that goes a long way
Yeah,
towards a long-term relationship as compared to a transactional
exactly.
relationship.
And making sure that you realize that, this is emotional and this is
Ooh,
not easy for people to one big ticket item.
sure.
Their home is their biggest ticket item and
With,
for most people in their entire life.
without a doubt.
And so, that deserves respect,
Yeah.
you know.
It seems like I don't know about siding. I know there's a couple movies out there about siding, but
Hmm
seems like the window industry kind of grew up, the aftermarket window industry
hmm
with some high pressure
Very
sales,
much so.
in-home presentations. You
Very
got to
much
buy
so.
today,
hmm
one call close, things like that.
hmm
And is it still predominantly
hmm It
the
very much
approach?
is. It very
Oh,
much
wow.
is. I think that there's a number of things that have been really changing in the trades. I
Yeah.
don't think we're ever going to see plumbers or electricians have to canvas or,
Sure. Yeah.
because it's the necessity. People know when they need windows, people know when they need siding. People know
Yeah.
when they need a new door.
Yeah.
They can't open their door,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
need a new door. So,
That's a clue,
yeah,
right?
that is a clue. So that really helps to there's a reason that they reach out. I don't think that you walking by and knocking on their door and telling them that because you can tell that their windows look old that they should get new windows.
Hmm.
That's not a fair expectation. So I rather take it the other way and be available
Sure.
through our branding and through whatever efforts that we do as far as our marketing, so that when they are ready, they know that they can call and they can trust
You bet.
that. And we get asked that all the time on the phone. Are you going to hold me hostage for 3 hours? Do both my husband and I have to be there?
Sure.
Things like that.
Yeah.
And so we just keep it more on an informational basis
Hmm.
and truly want to educate them. and explain to them like how something's going to come out, how it was built in the first place.
Sure.
What are we going to do to put things
Wow.
back together? I think it's really important. I would want to know,
Of course.
and that's kind of
That influenced you doing
the
this.
direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's,
direction that I've taken things.
that's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
So it would seem to me as a homeowner that would really be appreciated, and
Mhm.
it gains you some goodwill.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do. I think
Yeah.
so. I think a lot of times it definitely is something that can help people to feel more at ease.
Does it impact your ability to hire industry professionals?
Not really,
Okay.
because of the fact that we work with so many vetted partners
Okay.
that are literally they may not prefer the office sales side of things. They just want to go and do the actual work
Sure.
and take pride. That's where they take their pride.
Sure.
And so, and it's becoming more and more a predominant thing these days within the industries and the trades and remodeling in general,
Mhm.
that people are creating and pulling together things and then partnering with the best of the best
Yeah.
to be able to execute
Seeing that.
and perform.
Seeing that.
It's not like you go and pick up siding in your trucks and then take it, like the siding is delivered on pallets,
You
to
bet.
the home. So there's just systems and processes that are in place that make it flow that much easier
Yeah.
for the homeowner, and then for us to be able to provide those services as well.
Sure.
So,
Talk a little bit about your team. I know you've
mhm,
surrounded yourself, taken a lot of pride in surrounding
mhm,
yourself with
yes,
really top quality people.
I do. I have
Talk a
some
little bit about that.
very, very amazing folks that have taken a chance on me and have decided to walk the walk with me. My VP of operations has been in the window industry her entire adult life. So, and that's that you can't get that out of a book, you
Yeah.
know. I have a carpenter who came out of retirement that comes in and does our critical measures for us, and that's just this amazing, vast knowledge and
Wow.
ability, different things. And then my business sense and my running businesses and understanding all of that and sales is very
Mhm.
natural to me. So, and understanding, the connections and the people and working with the vendors.
Sure.
So we all do that. But usually, I don't think I've ever hired anybody who hasn't had an interest in home improvement,
Yeah.
and just look at it as a job kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they genuinely
Yeah.
like this. They like the excitement of this, whatever
Yeah.
it be, or they like mm, the fixing, helping people to fix something.
Yeah.
There is some definite pride in that. So even the
Well,
gal that answers my phones, I mean, she's fascinated with construction.
yeah.
Young mom of three girls, and she wants to become a project manager someday. So
Look at that.
yeah.
Yeah. To be able to take a look back at what you did today
Hmm.
and be able to see it. It's tangible. It's right there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When I got here this morning, this house was not sided,
Yeah.
and now it is.
Yeah.
Windows are in, or
Yep.
whatever it is, or brand new door and whatnot.
Hmm.
That's uh, that's pretty exciting.
Hmm.
Yeah, especially when it solves a problem for someone.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, from an educational perspective, you
Hmm.
didn't really come at it. I mean, you went to community college, and
Yeah.
really it was on the job,
I'm school. Yeah. Yeah.
school of
School
hard
life.
knocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, just learn as I go
Yeah.
and have never been intimidated by it. But in my opinion, I don't think that there is one box that everybody should fit in for school, anyways.
Wouldn't that be boring?
So, and I really want to, I'm getting to work with the Edmonds School District later in the month too, because they're finally starting to bring back carpentry programs and things like that into schools. And
Yeah.
so I'm really hoping that that's going to help to kind of bring it back and bring the importance back to it,
Yeah.
because it's something that we need.
Yeah.
Houses can't build themselves,
And can't fix
and they
themselves.
can't fix themselves
Yeah.
either. No,
Yeah.
no matter how
So
much AI tries.
that's a different conversation.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
thank you for
There we
saying that. Yeah.
go.
No, it's wonderful to see, the educational system, the pendulum is swinging back.
Hmm.
We're
Hmm.
starting to see that in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
There's a program here called Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that
I have.
program?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Young man that our family is friends with. Didn't really know his sister's on her way to college. She's college bound and all that, but he was really not genuinely interested in going to college. Yeah, probably would, but he took the heavy metals or applied and got accepted to heavy metals.
Hmm.
Knows exactly what he wants to do now. And
Hmm.
it's so exciting to see someone who's got the energy and is really excited about the next
Hmm.
steps as compared to no energy for it,
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's important.
no, I mean, I think it is really, really good.
Talk about that program you were just mentioning with Edmonds.
So they're kind of bringing in a vocational trades
Okay.
system. So carpentry is part of it, automotive,
Sure.
all of those things that we used to kind of have
And
that
still
don't
need.
take a 4-year degree necessarily or a 2-year degree. I think that's the other thing that kids have gotten a little confused in thinking that construction management is is something that they're going to be able to go to school and actually apply themselves to, and it's a little trickier than that. It really is. But I know that there are large, and I think that that's the confusing thing is that there's the commercial side of things in
Yes.
construction, and
Yes.
then there's the residential side.
Yes.
Well, they swing back and forth, to whatever's hot in the market and popular. And I think that that's where these 4-year construction management degrees, they're kind of going for the commercial route. But you
Sure.
don't very frequently find somebody who crosses over to both.
Right.
You know,
That's right.
I mean, I did have in the early years, I mean, some correctional construction, but I was only just part of
Sure.
the bigger concept.
Sure.
I imagine myself staying in that as a lifetime career? No,
No, I
no.
imagine.
But this is fun. This is like I get to do HGTV stuff. So,
Yes.
and make a
Yes.
change.
And,
Yeah.
and speaking of that, I
Mhm.
know you've got some other hobbies
I do.
as well, right?
Mhm.
You refinish furniture,
Yep.
right? Talk a little bit about that. Some of those other hobbies that you have passion
I
for.
am not one who likes to see anything get thrown away, which is really bad.
People or stuff, right?
People or stuff, but for the most part, the stuff I kind of fell into this buffet phase of my life, and actually, as a single mom, I used to flip furniture to supplement
There we
our
go.
income.
Yeah.
But I also just really love. It was just really good for me to kind of go out
Sure.
and to do things. And my grandmother had a headboard and a drum table and a dresser and a vanity set that she had in the early 70s. She'd antiqued it. It was referred to.
Sure.
And so it was a combination of paint and stain.
Yep.
Well, I decided I wanted to see what was underneath it. Well, when I peeled back all the layers of the paint and the different things I mean, it's the most beautiful wood ever. And it's just gorgeous and it's just fun to have. But then there's some gals that so I just really love old stuff. It's probably the best thing for me to say is I love old stuff and I love seeing where we can bring it back to life and add just a little bit of character to it. And I decorate with it. And
Sure.
yeah.
And
It's
you've done
just,
this at your home.
and I do it, yep.
Yeah.
And I've always had like a bigger, nice and fortunate enough to have a bigger garage so I can
Yeah.
have a couple of pieces. And yeah. So, and there's so many great new products now on the market. So
that make doing
make it so
that
easy.
doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Do you have any projects underway right now?
I have a few. But I just finished a dresser that we have like as our TV stand in our
Sure,
bedroom.
yeah.
And then I'm playing with. I have a hope chest that was my great grandmother's, so
Yeah.
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
That's up on the bench, and then I'm toying with. I have a family buffet that I should do something with it, or if I should just leave it alone. So yeah, this is my time coming up soon that I get to do this.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah.
because my husband is a mammoth sports fan, and so sports are on pretty much nonstop, and so
Yeah.
I go disappear in the garage.
I was going to say we can turn the radio on or turn
Yep.
it on outside in the
Yep.
garage
Yep.
and actually get something done,
Disappear,
right?
right? So
That's neat. Well, I look forward
yeah.
to seeing those photos.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
I'll get some
Yeah.
done this year.
From where a piece went to where it is now.
Yeah, that's
you
always
know,
the
and
fun
then
part.
put back into the environment and
Yeah.
how beautiful they look.
And I mean, I've known gals online that have made
Oh,
really
goodness.
great money.
Oh, yeah.
Really great
Yeah,
money.
that whole
so,
genre is really fun
yeah,
to watch.
it is.
And stuff's not ending up in the landfill.
Well, that's it.
Being
There's that,
reused
but then
again.
they're not making stuff like they did back then.
There's
So,
that.
mhm.
Yeah, the real hardwoods.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
It's not press wood. It's not laminate.
That's exactly right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And they end up, you know, sometimes in photography,
Mhm.
and it's it's beautiful.
Hmm.
So that's really neat.
Yeah,
So I know you're a mom.
I am.
Talk about those kids.
I have two amazing sons, and they are 30 next week.
Yeah.
My oldest, and my younger son is 24. My oldest son is at Costco and has been there for many, many, many years.
What a great place.
So like he's, yeah. I actually asked him the other day, I'm like, isn't it your 10-year? He's like, that already happened. I was like, oh, okay. So, and then my youngest son, after completing his business degree at the University of Washington, he's been working at Apple, but he has recently decided to start the fire science program at Everett CC.
Is that right?
So he is in
Going to be a fireman.
training.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's that. So we have shared interest there.
Uh-huh.
My oldest son is a fireman with Central Kitsap. And
Okay.
He's a paramedic.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's going through
Might have to connect them.
fires. We absolutely need to connect
Yeah.
them because the industry is really, really tight, and it's amazing group of people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I was really surprised when he came
yeah.
and said that he had decided to do this. So
Yeah, I asked my son, I said, so you do understand what you're deciding to do is you're going to run into burning buildings. You know you're going to do that.
mhm,
And he said, yep, I am.
mhm.
And that's noble.
Yeah.
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 That's neat.
Yeah, he's training right now. So he wears a backpack with 40 pounds of weight in it. And then he carries two 15-pound weights and he goes up and down the stairs in the house. I'm like, go. That's good.
It is good. It's so good. Yeah, Dane my oldest would have
Yeah.
some words of encouragement for him. So let me know if they
Yeah.
need to connect.
Okay,
That's
that
neat.
sounds good. So yeah, they're doing great. And then I have a stepdaughter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so and she's in paralegal school
Paralegal,
down in at Highline Community College.
That's great.
Or no, they don't call them community colleges anymore. They're colleges.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I got to get this right.
Yeah.
Everett College, Edmonds College, you know.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And they too are bringing back some of the vocational things.
They are,
as
yeah.
well. I mean, welding and
Yeah.
other
Mhm.
trades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it needs to come back. It should have never left.
Tell me how you and your husband met.
We met on Easter Sunday on eHarmony. I had been at service, and it was the typical, resurrection kind
Oh,
of,
yeah.
give it. And came home, and I thought, well, I've been single for 10 years. I think I'll give it another try. And so I did, and within 4 hours we were talking. And
Wow.
then the next day we were communicating, and it was the NCAA championship game.
Basketball.
Between Gonzaga and Baylor.
Yeah.
And so he said, you want to place a bet? And I said, well, only if I get the Bulldogs. And so he said, okay, that's fine. I'll take Baylor. And I said, okay, well, what's the bet? And he says, whoever wins gets to pick when and where the first date is. And I said, oh, okay, I can, So I'm being kind of confident. I'm like, well, it's the Bulldogs, whoa. And we lost.
And they should have won, darn it.
Yeah. And so then the next morning I get a phone call at work, and he asked me to dinner that night to meet him for dinner. And I was like, okay. So, and that was that. And a year later we were married.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
he's the
cool.
calm that is able to deal with my world.
Sure.
So he really gets me in that way. And
What a blessing.
it is
Yeah.
total blessing.
What is his work?
He's in the auto industry. He's with Lee Johnson.
Okay,
And
that's
he
neat.
is a recon guy, they call him. So basically he and his team evaluate anything used that comes in,
Oh, very good. Yes,
or
yes.
that comes from auction, and what it would
Yeah.
take to get it back on the lot and make
Sure.
sure that it's safe for the next buyer.
You
So
bet.
it's
Yeah.
a pretty busy position.
Well, and Lee Johnson's a good name here in
They're
town, too.
great
They're just a really
company.
good family.
Yeah, they've been really good
Yeah.
to us. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, oh, the auto industry, So,
Well,
but
like the siding industry, like
yeah,
the window
like
industry,
us.
it's had
Yeah,
its seedy
yeah,
characters,
it is.
right?
It is, and
Yeah.
that's definitely so.
But it's good. It's been fun. In my lifetime alone, I've seen a kind of a sea change in the auto industry, right? The
Mhm.
approach is more to, long-term relationship and,
Mhm.
and integrity, and
Hmm.
knowing that when that customer drives that vehicle off the lot, you're
Yeah.
going to stand behind it.
Yeah,
And so I think that's important.
yeah, I do too.
So, yeah.
So, And it's important that Frank and I both think that way about customer service too.
You bet.
So, because he'll go with me, if I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, can you come with me? I got a problem, on a job site.
Sure.
I need to do a Saturday visit or something, just to kind of put them at ease that,
You bet.
you're looking at a cake half baked. We're not there yet. We're getting there. It's coming.
It's going to get worse before
But,
it gets better. And now
and we know how emotional this is and how hard it is, so, because people don't know what's hiding in the walls of their house. They really don't. I mean, I had a little bit of work done at my house and had some drywall cut out of the ceiling and had a critter fall down. So
Surprise. Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's just, it is. Your house is a living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
And taking care of it and keeping up on it, the maintenance wise, is going to last for years to come. I mean, think about this building that we're in, how old it is, and probably how many layers of paint and how many different things that it has seen.
You bet.
So it's
You bet.
important to pay homage to that.
So knowing what you know about the industry,
Mhm.
you've added some additional services,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
You've expanded
Have.
your footprint.
Yeah.
From when I met you, I knew, siding, windows, and doors.
Yep.
But I don't think at the time you were doing decks and fencing.
No,
Maybe
that's
you were
all
thinking
just
about it.
that's all just this
It's
last year.
relatively new.
Just this last year.
And now you're adding gutters and paint.
Yeah.
Is it just exterior?
Just exterior.
Okay,
We're going to
very
stay.
good.
You're not
Yeah.
going to see me in the bathroom or the kitchen.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's when things get really emotional.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoy staying on the outside
Yep.
just because of the element factor, the curb appeal, but also the way the industry is going with products.
Yep.
The Trex
Yes.
fencing. So
Yes.
we just do Trex fencing. There's two reasons why I
Mhm.
love Trex fencing. Number one, it's 95% recycled material.
Mhm.
And number two, it's a 25-year warranty
On a fence.
on a fence.
In the
You don't have to
Northwest.
do anything on. Yeah. So
It's unheard of.
it is unheard of. It is a bigger investment, but if you start doing the math of if you wanted to keep your fence looking pristine and
Yeah.
not gray
Yeah.
or crumble, you got to start doing the math
Sure.
about how long that takes.
Well, we're
for those
starting to
kinds of things.
see some different approaches to even decking,
Yes.
right?
Decking is
So-
becoming quite the sustainable
Yeah.
thing. We're getting metal framing now. We've got all the different components. There's a couple of pretty big players, that are in the industry.
So it would make sense that you would apply that same math,
Yeah.
if you will, to fencing,
Yep.
especially keeping it looking optimal
Yeah.
as compared to, like you say, degradation every
Right.
single year with that cedar fence.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, and I like the energy. I mean, when I chose Energy Exteriors Northwest, I was thinking more green for energy
Sure.
and being energy efficient, but also like saving money and recycling
Sure.
and different things like that. Anderson Windows and Doors is one of my major brands that we represent. They have like a less than 2% waste out of their factory
Wow.
because everything that falls on the floor gets picked up and repurposed into something else. So it's really conscious
Wow.
manufacturing to make a difference. And then the
Sure.
technology, the way that the glass is done nowadays and the layers of coating to help bounce those intense solar rays back off and
Sure.
things like that. James Hardy siding, it is fire retardant.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's all these wonderful things that you could apply to your home, and yes, are they investment, but are they investment to really just stay
Sure.
and make the home that you're living in the very best home, and you're truly your dream home,
Sure.
Yep. If that's the case. So I think that those are
That's
some really
awesome.
nice. And I always think that when I'm
Mhm.
looking at new stuff, it's been kind of my goal.
So talk about the painting
Mhm.
in the gutters. That's pretty
Mhm.
competitive, if you will,
It
pretty
is.
competitive space.
So for us, a lot of it is just to help the homeowner with the project, complete their
Gotcha.
project.
Gotcha.
When we're residing, we have to take down the downspouts. A lot of times, fascia may need to be replaced
Yeah.
along, so we're gonna have to take down the gutters anyways. Why not just wrap the project up with a brand new set of gutters, which really, in comparison, and the investment on the other side is not much.
You bet.
It's not much. I
You
mean, a complete house wrap of gutters. I mean, and I hope nobody is paying $10,000 for gutters because that's not anything that they should be paying for
Yeah, you
unless
bet.
they're gold plated.
Yeah. So you can really leave the project complete
Yeah.
as compared to
Mhm.
these dingy looking gutters
Right.
or
Yeah.
a soffit
Mhm.
that needs to be
That needs
painted
some
now.
painted and they don't want to pay, they don't want to enclose, or they like, or I have on my home tongue and groove
Sure.
soffits of gorgeous wood.
Yeah.
And so we did a whole course on videos on stripping them down and sanding them and then revarnishing them with 5 layers of marine varnish, that the painter,
Wow.
that, my painting partner knew that that's what we're going to do to get
That,
that life, out of those 40-plus-year-old soffits.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's sad to see those painted
mhm.
when they were
Yeah.
clear at one time
Yeah.
and beautiful like that, revealing that beautiful wood.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So,
Any other plans that you can speak of as far as?
not yet.
Okay, very
Not
good.
yet. Yeah, not yet.
I love it.
So, I'm still trying to get up the courage to like even say yes to roofs because and this is the other thing. I pretty much am able to do everything. Do I do it every day? No. Can I do it and can I help with it? Yes.
Sure.
So because I love that kind of stuff. I love,
It's awesome.
I love fixing and creating and building and making stuff. So, but getting up on roofs is probably not one of my favorite things. So that has a little bit of the harder part of that for me. So
Let's talk a little bit about, going back to the leadership piece.
Mhm.
I know you've got a real heart for women entrepreneurs,
very much so.
right? It's tough. It's a tough road to go, but yet one worth going,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You're very encouraging for those that
Yes.
that are choosing to take that on,
Mhm.
because I've had the impression with women, you ladies can do everything. I mean,
Mhm.
your moms, your wives, your cooks, your entrepreneurs, you're creative, you're nurturing. You can do it all. Somehow you're able to do it all,
Mhm.
right? I get a
Mhm.
hangnail, and my wife's going, "Are you going to be down all day?" Or
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I know you've got a heart for kind of mentoring
I do.
and coming
Mhm.
alongside and walking with them.
Mhm. Mhm.
Talk to that a little bit.
Well, I think that, one of the things that I told them is I get to learn stuff from you too.
Mm,
If you're coming to me with a problem or situation, I might have something right back. Like
you bet.
because I'm at this age of my life, I'm going to be 56 next month. I I don't know it all, and I'm not going to pretend like I know it all. I'd rather collaborate with everybody to come up with something.
Mm.
I've always been like I'm always fascinated with the gals that I do mentor that do unique things, like they create their own things. I'm always like, that's so cool. Can I just buy it from you because whereas I would be like, oh, I like that idea. I can take it maybe and make it my own,
Sure.
and that's a helpful thing. But being self-employed and in the early years, especially when my family was young and my children were young, and I didn't really see myself as an entrepreneur then,
Sure.
but I saw myself as self-employed,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
and the kids would get to the point of, can we not talk about business at the table?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, sorry, yes, let's talk about SpongeBob, whatever. So that being said, I realize when I'm talking with some of these gals that what I had to do then is no different than what they're having to do now. The juggling, the finding the time to squeeze in and a lot of entrepreneurs that are moms start their businesses from home.
Yeah.
So they're able to juggle back and forth, and be present when it's dinner time, but then as soon as bath time and story time is done and the kids' lights are out, you're back at work.
You bet.
And you just do that. That's just sort of the life that you've chosen. And I think it's very rewarding. I loved it for me and myself. I watched my mom when we were kids. She always had a side bit of income that was coming in no matter what, but she always was available and she was always at home for us, or she was able to do PTA stuff and volunteer at the school or whatever the case. And I wanted to do that for my kids too. So that was very important to me.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
important to me. I didn't want to pay a daycare, for that kind of thing. I wanted to be with them.
You bet.
And so that was really important. But then kids didn't understand the one brief year that I did have a job, a real job, and I was on the road, and it was so hard for them. They had a very miserable time because we were going through the divorce, and there's a number of things happening. But, and I was all over the country during those. I mean, every other week I was on a plane. So that's a lot to go from that to, even though they were older in the, teen years, but
Sure.
it was tough.
That's when they need you the most, at least in my opinion.
I think so too.
I think that's when the kids
I think
need
giving them
more.
the back and forth, understanding for these women that you can do it,
Yes.
and you don't have to be a rock star and blast off and do everything 100% perfect. And, I had an old mentor years ago, Toastmasters and all of those things, tell me, never forget that everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time. And I was like, okay. And then my other favorite one is she always said, the answer is always no unless you ask the question.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, all right. So that's always been kind of my philosophy with mentoring or guiding or leading or talking, and me taking my experience in a different way. When my first husband and I started our first company, the SBA was like an open book. It was amazing. There was no secret sauce to it or anything. And I actually did, in 2022, I did the Thrive Emerging Leaders program through them. And I was like, why are you making this so complicated? Like, everything was, and still to this day, even though I was so intensely involved in the program, I still had kind of a hard time figuring out, where to go and to get answers and to ask questions and things like that. So I want it to be easier for people so that they can. I mean, small business is what America's about. Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's a fact.
Yes, it is.
Well, and that's, that's what our community is all about, especially here in Snohomish, North King County.
Yep.
It's about the work that you're doing, not only just with your company, but with your team, with your community.
Yep.
It's about, reflecting back those things that really make living here awesome.
Exactly.
This is a wonderful place to live, and we know that.
We're so blessed.
And we're blessed to have had you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Goodness sakes.
It was fun.
Thanks.
Thank you.